Let me just get situated in the freaking ice planet of Hoth over here. God damn, it's cold, guys. Holy shiza. I needed to warm up just a little bit in here. Welcome to the after. All right, Bert, do your worst, says Shadow Cloud. He's been holding it in the whole time. That was funny. I'm like, Bert, please just hold in the crazy for a few minutes. Wait till we go outside. Can you hear me, guys? Like, I need to know that I'm not talking to the ether here. All right. Definitely no kitten mittens. Okay, audio is good. Let me just light this thing here and get it a little bit better. That's the best angle I'm gonna get there. Sorry about that, guys. Cold. I'm shaking my lighter to get the freaking juice working. Okay. This is a rhythm-infused pre-roll. Yes, sir. Indeed. This is, so there you go. That's a good start. We're going to talk about what, the announcement I made on my channel and Patreon. My wife calls this my winter coat, my hoodies, because that's what I always do in the winter. I just wear hoodies like an idiot. So, speaking of my wife, as you may or may not know, she is Coast Guard Reserve, and they freaking activated her. And so what that means is she's supposed to go once a month for a weekend, right? She had 2 years left. 2027, she retired. And before this, it was voluntary. Like you could volunteer for events or whatever, and those terms were 120 days. I guess I'm not going to comment on any of the politics of it, but they changed that term to 365 days, and they activated her. So now she's been in Texas for a week. And I am essentially a single father with 2 kids at this point. So all day, every day, I have the kids. I had to resign from my job. However, they were pushing me out anyway. They were going to break the contract that we had and try to get me to come into the city more often. And this happened at the same time. So basically, I had to resign. However, the month leading up to it, I saw the writing on the wall. Month and a half. So I've been pulling samples left and right and asking for samples with every delivery. I have a good little stash now for a while, so that'll be free for the next year or two. If I don't just quit with that, we'll see. Whatever. So yeah, basically, wife gone, job gone, kids all the time. It's a tough situation. So I'll be doing what I can with the channel, but it's gonna be a different year when it comes to what I can make and whatnot. And yeah, look, it's tough, especially at night. They drive each other up the wall, and there's no sleep, no sleep. Don't tell Scotty, man. Oh, busy selling cards at a card shop. Nice. But you look, man, there could be worse things. I love my kids. I have a lot of fun with them. So, you know, like it's tough right now. But yeah, that's what's going on. I got help. You know, like we'll see how the next year goes with help, and and look, she's gonna try and come home. You know, we'll see how sympathetic. You know, like okay, so the people on her base have like a quota. You know. So they have to send a certain amount of people. Epiphany, it's funny that you say that. When I was talking about this to somebody, I said that you got to do what you got to do, and I sent the picture from Futurama of like the construction worker, like you got to do what you got to do. The propaganda for the job chip in your hand. Yeah. Anyway, so. So her base had like a quota to send. I'm hoping that's different than the numbers that they need at her location. And then like, you know, they can get rid of a couple of people. Because, you know, let's face it, being a woman in the military, no one took the time to teach her anything. And so she's not going to be as useful as a lot of the men around her who got the training and got the attention that she didn't get. She's reserves and a woman. Nobody paid attention. So that's where they're at. And, you know, she's down there and they took her away from her kids. And that's ridiculous. Like, what I think about, you know, like some of this stuff when I take, you know, anyway, it's not a great situation. We'll see what happens. You know, it should be safe. It shouldn't be an issue. It's the like Coast Guard, man. You know, it's never going to be front line. Anywho, as far as the channel goes, I kind of have like a little bit of a reduced schedule, and that's just due to time. You know, like I'm not going to have a lot of time. It is what it is. Silly statements. You got to do what you got to do. It is what it is, right? Anyway, so this next year, I don't know. I'm gonna try and do a break every month like I've always been doing, you know, but two issues with that right now. One, I got no money coming in, so it's very difficult. Two, it's tough finding a good deal out there. They say the vintage market is shit, but go out there and try and find a box. Yeah, if someone auctions it, doesn't get a lot. It's not making any records right now, right? But like, if you're like, hey, I saw an auction and this is the price that the box sold for, people are gonna be like, you know, no, I'm not selling my box for that price, you know. So like, there's a disparity between bid and ask that's pretty wide right now, and it's interesting. So that was another thing I wanted to talk about, was pre-modern. Oh boy, Ed Holland 84. You know, they tried to tell me this for years and years and years and years in Catholic school. There's nothing you can say. is going to change my perspective one way or another. And you don't even know that perspective. So, I don't know. Right, fat luggage every time. And where's Bert when you need him? I need some madness. I was ready for some craziness out here. Yeah, Epiphany. You missed the beginning of the stream. So basically, wife has been activated for Coast Guard for a year, and she's like, you know, far away. I have to take care of the kids myself for the next year. That's what's going on. It is pretty crazy. But yeah, where's Bert at? What happened to Bert? Coach, I know. The diversions, but that's what I feel like. Bert was part of the gonna be part of the topic. But yeah, and also I had to quit my job because of it. That really is depressing. Like, yeah, I know it wasn't probably gonna work out anyway, but like, it wasn't dead yet. Yeah. There's nothing good about the kids not having their mom around. It is pretty rough. I think that's worse than me not sleeping. Is not being around when all this is happening. And when I say when all this is happening, I mean with the kids, you know. One of them is 13 months old. The other one is 30 months old? 30 to 32 months old. Epiphany, I guess. They're really small, and like, I'm going to, but she's not going to have like time off. It's going to be, you know, a couple hours at night. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Like, she'll have a few days, she'll come up here and there. But you know, a weekend a month it's not what it should be. But yeah, it's the kids, they ask, where's mama, you know? It's not great, like, but it's funny when the little one says mama now, the older one's like, no, she's at work. And stuff like that. Yeah, Thalia's starting to really be pretty hilarious. Full on like thoughts and stuff happening. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, it's not great. I think look, man, I am not a child at this point. I'm 42. So how much time does anyone really have left after 40, right? 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, let's say 40 years. That's a lot. 1 out of 40 years is 2.5%. So what they're asking for is 2.5% of everything that you have left. You know what I mean? By taking you and transplanting you somewhere else. And like, by the time it's over, for the little one, it's going to be 50%. And for the big one, it's going to be like 30% of their lives. So that's a crazy statistic number, like, you know, to think about it like that. And that's my problem, is I always think about shit like that. I agree, Epiphany. FaceTime is a good thing, and it helps. They need to see her face. You know what I mean? Especially for her, too. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to get into talking about the pre-modern market, so I may do some videos about that. I mean, it's it's the only thing that's moving the cards that we know and love, you know. So so I might make some videos about that whole thing from time to time. They get lifetime benefits for their service. Yeah and no, because there's also other requirements. Like, so she's gonna retire in 2027, but they might require 4 more years. And, you know, with these types of assignments being tossed about like candy, I don't know if that's advisable. How far away is she gone? Halfway across the country. Far enough. Maybe 20 hours driving. Straight. No. Maybe. Which is not doable with the kids yet. When they're like, you know, 5 or something, that's the type of road trip, you know? But, yeah. Oh, definitely over 1,000 miles, so. Far. Yeah, and there you go, Stefan, and that guy isn't around anymore either, freaking Ash. It's been a pretty shit end to 25 and start to 26. Yeah, you can hit the like. Alright, whatever. At this point, I know what it is in the car. Yeah. But, yeah, it sucked having to quit or resign. Or being forced to resign, I should say, because of their demands and what was happening with this. More so, I'd say their demands. Because I would have had to, no matter what. Put it that way. You know? Like, I had to take my stand. I wasn't going to let this guy take advantage of me. Like, you seen The Guardian? Kevin Costner. The Guardian. I'm really trying to think. No, I don't know that one. I still don't know what -0 feels like, luckily. Bro, the fucking wind chill, when it blows, it is like through you. It's messed up. Lifeguard film, really interesting. Yeah, but it's gonna be a crazy year, guys. I never thought I'd have to deal with I'd have to take care of the kids myself. And look, if it was one of them, it would be a totally different story than if it's 2. You know, like, your attention on one can be laser focused. When you have 2, that laser becomes a blurry beam and like shines on both of them that way. You know what I mean? I know what I have to do to take care of them, and that takes up all my time. It's going to be very difficult to teach them, you know, stuff like that. Anyway, I try when I can. I take them out a lot, go to the museum and shit. I was trying to teach them the difference between opaque and translucent at the gem room at the museum up in Yale. Disney Plus, good film, The Guardian. Gotcha. Just check the weather. I'm at 0 degrees, -18, wind chill, I guess. Yeah, it's freaking cold here. Cold. Like, you don't want to go outside. But I got a lot of outside left to do. I'll be back home at like 11. Daycare for the kids. I got some help on a couple of days of the week for a few hours during those days. 4 hours here, 2 hours there, stuff like that. One of the scheduled things is on Thursdays I have in the morning a tumbling class with Thalia, and the little one. So the little one is going to be watched, by one of her grandparents. That's one of the things. But she's there for that. And I can't really make her stay much after. And any time that she does stay after is, gratis. The thing is, this is now, let's just try to get Cynthia home. That's all. Anything that she could do she had a medical appointment that she's able to delay the deployment by a week and a half at least, which was nice. She got a little extra time with the kids. We went on a little trip down to New York. This was during that second storm. Yeah, the day after we were down in New York. I drove right through the beginning of the storm to get there, just to make sure that we could get to the hotel and that we got snowed in the hotel instead of, snowed out of the hotel. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was good. I got a good couple of days in. Went to the water park in the American Dream Mall in Jersey. You guys ever hear of that thing? That thing is monstrous. Actually, that's what a mall should be. Nowadays, a lot of these malls, they have bullshit like 99-cent stores, and a lot of them are just clothes. Like, clothes is great, but you gotta have a mix of stores, you know what I mean? And that one, the American Dream Mall, has a lot of entertainment and stuff like that thrown in. So yeah, it's well done. My dad beat my butt with this insect deck tonight. He loves the game, but he's dyslexic, so gets frustrated. Yeah, that sucks, having a disability like that. I have no experience with dyslexia. I can't speak to it. I don't know anybody that had it, or so can't really speak to it. But I have heard of it. I've heard it described, and it sounds very difficult to deal with. That kind of sucks, But hey, there's gonna be things in life that are challenges, and things in life that are easier for him to do, I'm sure. But yeah, so Tony Danza from Who's the Boss. Oh my god. Or yeah, I need it's tough, guys. I'm very, very tired all the time. It's because they get to sleep, but I have to do stuff when they sleep. Oh, you gotta do the dance and embrace it. Yeah, I mean, I know, I get it. I enjoy the time. I do. I just also miss my time feeling that I was accomplishing stuff with jobs. It sucks not having a job. Never really, it's been a while since I didn't have a job. You know what I mean? Even partially. I'm working on my CBD gel, but really, I would have to make some time for that, and we'll figure that out. I got my CBD gel and a couple other products in my facility still. I'm gonna talk to some of my contacts in the industry and see if I can get some people interested in the pain gel. He remembers all the weakness in my deck, though. He's super clever, scared of reading, math genius. Interesting. Yeah, luckily I produced a ton of the pain gel, so I can actually, I'm about to send out a bunch of samples to my contacts. I have to round them up. I gotta send samples to contacts, apply for unemployment with New York because my contract got changed. And that's a lot of stuff that I don't have time for, man. Whatever, it's gonna happen. We'll see what goes. We'll see what happens this year. I got my last industry event next week, and I will be there as long as it is open and loot the fucking place. So we will see what they'll give to me while I still have the buyer credentials. All these vendors. Last time I went to one of these events, I came out with like a Santa bag of freaking samples. It was ridiculous. Thinking about a new career direction and work from home opportunities since the pandemic. Yeah, it's just I want to use my facility. It's only 20 minutes away. I can take the older one there because like there's an office and like, you know, just sit her down with a snack and a show, and I could put a lab bench right out front of the office and look through the window to see what's in there, and I don't know, I could take care of that. I could do something like, I could do batching like that. But yeah, I don't know. I gotta figure out how to do that because, like, it's a shame to let that facility go to waste because it is quite the facility. I just gotta figure out how to deal with the kids and work and balance that by myself with the help that I have, and you know, try to schedule it all, because that's really going to be the challenge is figuring it out. And it's going to be crazy because once I finally get something going, it's going to end, you know, like it sucks. And it's like a year is a shitty gap on a resume. Yeah. Okay, guys. I'm gonna have to go get the kids momentarily, so if you got any statements or questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap it up and go pick them up. Oh boy, this is gonna be a late night. Yeah, I know, but it's and I love it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the shit out of my kids. I take them I take them places and everything. It's just, you know, 2.5 years old can be frustrating, and the other one is just learning to walk and wants to put everything in her mouth and wants to touch everything and stick her finger and everything. And you know, like it's tiring and frustrating. It's not like anger and like upset at, you know, it's just it's trying. It's the type of stuff that makes you lose your hair more so than it's already been losing. More so than I've already been losing it. You know what I'm trying to say. Good luck, dude. Change can be an opportunity, sometimes also can be a pain in the butt. I know. And yes, Stefan, I'll give him a hug. Hopefully more help will arrive. Yes. Yes. We'll see what happens. This is gonna be a long year, and thank you for coming by, guys. I'm gonna, yeah, it is a big change. Free time went from like 50% to 0. Even when I was working, right, I would come home at like 8 to 8:30 to help Cynthia. There's no one to bail me out at night, every night. And they have a way of keeping each other awake. When one gets sleepy, the other one's poking at her until she's awake, and then she's poking at the other one, preventing her from getting sleepy. All right, peace out, guys. I hope you enjoyed the Mirrodin box break. I don't know what's going to be next month. I'm thinking I'm going to do a battle for maybe, like, I have a legacy pack. I think legacy or 7th. I have a nice old school foil potential pack, and I wanted to do a battle. So I have some stuff. I have Lorwyn. I have Mystery Booster 2. I got things like that, like some modern things that I might set up for a battle. People like opening modern stuff anyway, so yeah. There's some stuff, and I'm thinking of doing that for next month. Otherwise, the following month, I'm either going to do Mercadian Masks, or I was thinking of something like Judgment. I'll see what I can find. We'll see what's out there. Nemesis, Judgment are 2 that I've been toying with recently. Those are both sets. As you guys know, I like sets where not only are the foil rares extremely valuable, but you can pull some amazing foil commons and uncommons, like underrated type cards. Like, you know, a Mental Note from Judgment foil, pack fresh. That would be kind of crazy. Anyway, take care, guys. Peace. If I could ever shut it down, right?